Smackdown, 9/25/2003. The show is at the Wachovia Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Really, that's not what I would consider the big takeaway from the show, because this episode of SmackDown is happening 2 days before Oz turns 17.
Ah, young Oz.
And so we're going to call this an early party for Oz.
Woo!
And while I have certain preferences, there are things that I will book even if I don't like it, just because I don't know how else to do it.
Yeah.
And so I keep things
Relatively straightforward.
in a way that makes sense, basically, right? And so the show opens with a graphic saying that Mr. McMahon is celebrating his victory over Stephanie live in ring tonight. We then cut backstage to see the LLC with Billy Kidman, and Bradshaw is hyping up Billy and telling him, just go out there. He's like, I already talked to Vince. All you got to do is we'll go out, all of us, not just you and me,
Squad.
the whole squad. He's like, I know that Doug and Danny and Maven are all bruised and battered,
Injured as all hell.
but we are here for you. I mean, he's also holding his ribs, Bradshaw, because of that spear and that jackhammer. But he says, Vince agrees that Spike Dudley should not be Cruiserweight Champion. And so we hear JBL's music, not Billy Kidman's music, and all of the LLC come to the ring for this upcoming
Cruiserweight Championship match of the world.
Yes. In Stephanie's SmackDown, in the world that was conceived and created and dealt with care, Billy would have had to have earned his way back to the title. He would have had to beat the champion to get the title shot.
Because that would have made sense.
But here, under the Mr. McMahon regime, Spike comes out with the title, and immediately, before he even gets in the ring, before the bell rings, before anything, he gets jumped by a bunch of hooligans, a bunch of bad guys, a bunch of followers of JBL, and Bradshaw rolls Spike into the ring, and he tells Little Nate, he says, don't you dare call that a disqualification. The bell didn't even ring yet. He's like, just start the match. And so Charles Robinson shakes his head, and he rings the bell. And Billy doesn't do anything. He doesn't go for a shooting star. He doesn't do anything. He just goes for a pin.
Okay.
1, 2, Spike kicks out.
Yeah.
And so Spike Dudley, who...
Always been a fighter.
Yes,
Always been an underdog.
Exactly. Always been an underdog, always been a fighter. He works his way up, and Kidman, he has this really nice, I don't remember what he called it, but D'Lo Brown called it the Sky High.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
I have no idea what he called it.
And
but,
so Billy hits his version of D'Lo's move and goes for a pin. 1, 2, Spike kicks out.
Let's go, Spike.
And so Billy, who, again, he's a bad guy, and he's also under the tutelage of Bradshaw. He rolls Spike out of the ring. He stops trying to get the pin, and he just gets in Charles Robinson's face while all of the LLC lay the leather to Spike Dudley. They roll him back in, and before Billy does anything, he goes for a pin. 1, 2, Spike kicks out. Billy picks him up and goes for a running, like a Liger bomb, right?
Oh, okay.
And
running sit out powerbomb.
exactly. And so
for the kids in the back who don't know who Liger is.
Jushin Thunder Liger, that is. So
Liger's son.
Billy goes for the pin, 1, 2, kick out, and at this point, Billy Kidman is furious. He
Can't put this guy away.
He gets up. He gets in the face of Charles Robinson. He's like, why can't you count to 3? He pushes Charles Robinson down, and while Charles Robinson is lying on the mat, Bradshaw comes over. He pulls out a wad of money and puts it in Charles Robinson's pocket. And he says, he's like, don't call for the DQ. You want to keep your job. He's like, I got you. Everything's fine. And Charles Robinson, who's upset about this, he's irritated, but he's like, Vince is in charge of this show. He's like, there's not even any point.
Yeah, I'm about to say there's no point in
So
fighting it.
Billy goes up, hits the shooting star press on Spike. Charles Robinson counts 1, 2, 3. Billy Kidman is once again the Cruiserweight Champion. But as the LLC celebrate, and as Billy is super happy with himself,
Of course.
he and all of the bad guys are up on the ramp. Spike gets up and he at first he's dejected. At first he's hurt. And he looks at Charles Robinson. He's like, why did you put up with this? And then he sees the wad of money in Little Nate's pocket. And Spike grabs him by the shirt. He grabs the money out of the pocket. And he throws it in his face. And now Spike Dudley is mad. He's like, not only was I cheated, but it's like, there's no justice in the world.
There's no justice in the
And
world.
so-
I like that.
And so Spike he's presenting that perhaps
He needs a hero.
well, what I was going to say is that he's on the cusp of not staying the way that he is. Because for the duration of time that I've had Spike Dudley, or that the Alpha Inter Worldwide has existed, he's been one character,
Yes.
an underdog. But now he's finally evolving, changing, opening his eyes, growing, exactly. So all of that is out of the way. Everybody's gone. Things are happening, but it's not all bad. So Sylvain, Dupree, and Nunzio come out. Thank you for being here at Mr. Super Oz. This video is going out, and this channel only exists because I, Oz, founded Gamble Comics, which first release was Everlasting Survivors, a 68-page graphic novel called All Day Long, available now. Follow the link in the description that will take you to gamblecomics.com. While there you can get hats, shirts, posters, much, much more, but most importantly, the story itself. They are not happy like they normally are. You know, they did lose those trios titles.
It happens. It happens.
But they are set to get back on their winning ways. So they're in the ring and they're ready to go. But the problem is their opponents are, it's basically a quartet of Bill Goldbergs. So Koinonis, under my booking, Toa Reigns, Hurricane Helms, Sarah Moore, they're accompanied by Jamie Noble. They have not lost a match since coming together as a unit. And Toa Reigns, Roman Reigns' big brother,
Big row.
he takes out these foreigners
Yes.
easily. So Nunzio really doesn't stand a chance.
No, zero chance.
Sylvain tries his best, but he falls. And now big-bodied Dupree goes against big-bodied Toa Reigns. And Toa Reigns, he does his best, I'm going to say Yokozuna impression.
Nice.
And although I'll be honest, there's an argument to be made that Reigns, or Rosie in this case, might have had even a bit more mobility than Yokozuna ever did. But my point is, Yokozuna was one of the first agile Anawahis, especially.
Yeah.
And so Toa Reigns,
And that was like 1,000 of those freaks.
yeah, exactly. So he crushes Dupree with a bonsai drop, thank you. Wins for the team, and Koinonis keep their winning ways going.
Love to see it.
Speaking of people who don't lose and are on their winning ways, Goldberg defeats A-Train because that's just what he does. Yeah, no explanation needed.
Some more big body activity, if you will.
So, the best first generation, Lance Storm, Booker T, and Scott Steiner, are seen in the back. And while they are not quite celebrating, but appreciating one another and the fact that they came away with these titles,
Indeed.
they are interrupted by Matt Hardy, who tells the trio that they got lucky by beating the Iron Addicts. And Matt is out to prove that while the Iron Addicts didn't beat the best first generation, it doesn't matter what generation you're from. When you're Matt Hardy, you are number one, because Matt is going to go out tonight and he's going to win the Intercontinental Championship from Eddie Guerrero, because Vince McMahon gave it the green light.
And he's ready to go.
Yes. And so Matt, with Johnny, Val, and Mark, takes on Eddie Guerrero, who is seconded to the ring by
Rey Mysterio.
Correct. But Rey Mysterio, he stops Eddie at the ramp before they can even get down there.
Yeah.
He says, just look at it. There's 4 of them. There's only 2 of us.
I'm about to say, we were outnumbered.
and so Ray, he leans over and he points to his head, and then he points to the Tron. On SmackDown, there's 2 Trons actually, one on either side of the fist.
Yeah.
And we hear, "Ooh, Chavo!" And Chavo Guerrero returns
Woo!
here tonight.
They're back, baby.
And so now it's 3
It's
on
3 on 4, but that's better odds.
Exactly. It's 3 on 4, but it's far better than 2 on 4. And so Eddie goes out and he has a spectacular match with Matt Hardy because they can.
I'm about to say.
And
like they only know how to
here's the other thing. Because Chavo and Ray are not just great wrestlers, they're great entertainers.
Mm-hmm.
They do nothing but have a good fun time on the outside of that ring with the Iron Addicts who are trying to cheat and do dirty deeds.
Well, these are big, slow giant men. You know, they don't focus on cardio.
Exactly. And the other thing is Chavo, he's living that family tradition. He lies, he cheats, he steals, and so anytime that Mark or Johnny or Val tried to do something underhanded, Chavo and Ray not only stop it, but they turn the tables and get the ref involved. Long story short, Eddie wins, and we have a celebratory,
family hug.
Family hug, exactly. All good times.
Love it. I love it.
So
good to have Chavo back. He's been gone for a while too.
yeah, I think it was 5 to 6 months, something like that.
Yeah.
It was Backlash.
Mm-hmm.
Was the last time we saw him, I believe.
Yeah,
Something like that.
well, that's at least May, I think.
May, yeah, feels right.
Yeah.
May to September. And so, in the semi-main segment, Vince McMahon is celebrating
Beating up his daughter.
But he celebrates in very meme-like fashion. So, I'd already talked about this a few weeks ago. He sets up a table in the middle of the ring.
Okay.
And he wants to have an interview for his lead assistant. He's going to call it lead assistant. Now, it's a wink and a nod to the fact that these 3 women are already giving him quite the assistants already. But Sable, Dawn Marie, and Terry all take turns showing off their attributes to the chairman. And during the almost, but not quite, but almost striptease segment, we hear Dead Man walk in, and The Undertaker, who is stitched up, he's bandaged up, he's beat up.
Showing the wounds of war.
But he's still champion, rides his motorcycle out, and he places, like when he was hardcore champion, he has the title riding on the front with the headlight. And so he interrupts Vince and this shenanigans, and Vince is livid. He's mad. He's on fire about this.
How dare you.
We fade to commercial. When we come back, The Undertaker's in the ring, holding his title, and Vince is seen storming off the ramp. And The Undertaker's opponent, and this match is nearly a year in the making. Nearly a year. I think that it would have been smart if I promoted it, but the last time I promoted it, Mark Henry got hurt and couldn't make it for the show. So that's probably the reason the match didn't get promoted. But here tonight, Mark Henry is the man challenging for the television title against The Undertaker. And Mark Henry defeats The Undertaker and becomes a 3-time television champion. And so, yeah, that's what the notes say. Tonight, for the first time in Alpha Entertainment
yourself.
worldwide history, we have a 3-time television champion.
I think he's the first 3-time champion, full stop, in our company.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's because Brock's a 2-time undisputed.
Yep. So it's.
But
I think it's Triple H too, or is he just one?
yeah, he's 2-time as well,
2-time,
but not 3. Yeah.
All right.
But Mark's the first 3-time. Period. Anything.
Yeah, anything.
And so, because Billy's also a 2-time.
Yep.
Yep. Cruiserweight.
And then.
But my point is,
yeah.
Mark Henry and Undertaker have the match that I had set up a year prior, and then Mark got hurt again. Yeah, it's good times. It's good stuff. Like I said, it's a gift to me.
Happy birthday.
A couple days before I turned 17, and yeah, I just appreciate you.
Yes, sir.